It's been 3,000 years. But now, the 5th anniversary is finally here. If you've seen the trailer for the celebration, you can already tell it's gonna be a huge party with all your favorites in their best clothes. So, it only makes sense that we also show up in our best. Yeah, that looks good. So then, let's get this party started, shall we? Woo! Oh, shit. This is not... Like any celebration, we got the usual login bonus, and that means a whole whopping 10 tickets for your summons. Now that might not seem like much for an anniversary, but don't worry, there's plenty more where that came from. Now typically I would just briefly mention this part and move on, but this time's a little different. Remember this fucking thing? If any of you already started grailing their servants past level 100, this is probably the first thing you saw. So unless you want to spend 1,000 years farming, my general tip, just wait for the success rates to be up, then start. Going back to the daily quests, the way that you can farm mana prisms has changed. You don't need to waste your AP anymore doing every single daily quest, because now it is mission based and you just need to do up to 3 daily quests for the full 30 prisms. And you're gonna need those prisms too, because there's gonna be some limited time items offered at the Madam Prism store. It's the usual stuff like keys, tickets, foes, etc. Nothing too exciting. But then we also get this. Behold, in all its majesty, Merlin in a furry suit. This C Idolmaster will be the new Mana Prism C and will increase Master and Mystic Code EXP. Get it while you can before it rotates out in a few months. Speaking of costumes, we're getting 5 of them during the celebration. These outfits are for Arjuna, Da Vinci Rider, Saber Nero, Jesus, how many does she get? Izo, and Bunyan. Just do the quest and the costume is yours. Even if you don't have the servant, you can still do it anyway, so pick him up while you can. There'll also be some missions available during the celebration that reward some tickets and mana prisms in exchange for getting friends or followers. Now that we covered most of the boring stuff, it is time for the anniversary St. Quartz count. A lot of St. Quartz will be given during the celebration, but Lasagna likes to play hard and is not just going to give out free handouts. They usually bring a lot of St. Quartz by introducing new missions or by making changes to set systems of the game. This year, not only are we getting new additions to the missions for story clears, strengthening interludes, and free quest clears, but we're also getting a St. Quartz fragment for every arrow you do for the main story. It doesn't matter if it's a battle or a 0 AP reading quest, you get the fragment regardless. Fragment doesn't seem like much because you need 7 of them for a full St. Quartz, but it adds up. If we count all the fragments you can get this way, we get a grand total of 1,046 fragments. And now, once you do the math, add up all the quartz, this anniversary brings us a grand total of 279 St. Quartz, or roughly 9 multis. Now if only you could use those for these banners. So the Lucky Bag banner is back, and with it a new set of guaranteed 5-star banners. This year we got 5 banners to choose from, and the servants are being categorized based on when they appeared, including the 3 and 4 stars. So we got the Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, Year 4, and Year 5. And as usual, you need 15 paid quartz in order to summon. Now, general advice always applies, summon for who you like, or for whatever you're missing. But if you really want an opinion, here are some things to consider. The Year 1 banner is extremely saturated and has the most servants in it, and so it is near impossible to pinpoint a specific servant that you want. Year 2 includes Merlin, who is still a top tier support and does not return until 2 years from now, so keep that in mind. Year 3 has the quick queen Scotty, so here's another chance to pick her up for your farming needs. In general, the newer servants tend to have the more up-to-date kits that are in tune to the meta, so the Year 4 and 5 banners have a very great selection of servants. Year 5 especially has top-notch meta servants, with some of them being the best arts farmers in the game, which is important due to reasons. But overall, you can't go too wrong for picking these other banners, despite the age of some of the servants. Especially because... yeah, so there's a fucking lot of these. Normally there are like 7 of these at a time, but nah, they just said fuck it and doubled it. Alright, so first up, even though Phantom the Opera does get a pretty good buff to his second skill where he now has buff removal and an indiscriminate charm, I'm still not gonna use him.
Why are we still here?
Brynhilde now has a 30% battery. Yeah, nothing much to elaborate here. It's really good. Darius the Third. Does anyone even use this guy?
What?
Still a pretty good buff regardless. Raiko gets an MP upgrade and now reduces the enemy's crit chance. She's still gonna get one shot though, but you're mainly in this for the MP damage increase. David gets an MP upgrade to deal more damage to giants, cause you know, David and Goliath. Still pretty niche, but I guess if a Spriggan is ever bothering you, you know who to use. Consuryu's upgrade fixes her main issue of her NP removing her buffs by increasing her buff removal resistance from 1 to 3 turns. It's good, but she still has a 2-turn window where she can nerf herself. She also gets an attack buff which is technically protected from the NP because it has the same uptime as the buff removal resistance. Neza gets an MP upgrade, nothing new, just bigger numbers to everything. Arjuna now has MP regen per turn on his second skill. This complements pretty well with his triple arts deck so he can spam his MP more. Castergil now increases party's crit damage on MP. This crit damage buff added on to his defense, attack, crit star drop rate, and arts performance buffs increases his role as a great all-around support. Musashi gets an MP upgrade so she does bonus damage to alter egos and moon cancer. So I guess if we ever get another event themed around CCC, you know who to bring. Alright, so far these rank up quests has been pretty normal. So if the trend continues, I don't expect the last 4 to be that special. God damn it. Of course, the cast from Fate Stay Night has some of the most stupid, broken, what the fuck upgrades in the set. Alright, first, I guess the weakest of the 4. Ku gets an upgrade to his guts, so now he gets attacked based on how much HP is missing. The cooldown is also reduced by a turn, making him even more unkillable than he already is. Speaking of unkillable, here's Hercules. You all know him very well for that busted Bond C that gives him 3 guts. The main issue that he always had though was his second skill was redundant because you couldn't stack the guts with his CE guts. Until now, that is.
Why won't you die? Nanomachine, son.
Now his guts is able to stack, and whenever a guts is popped, he gets a buster buff. Now here's something interesting when it comes to Emiya's upgrade. This is the first time a servant gets another upgrade for the same skill, going from Magecraft C- to Projection Magecraft A, and now to Trace On EX. Not only does the Arts Buster quick buffs get better, but he copies from Space Ishtar and gets the choice to change his NP to Arts. And now we see why the man with a triple Arts deck has a Buster NP. Cause if he always had a 10-hit Arts card...
Holy Jesus!
Alright, last one. With what happened with Enya, there's no way this one's gonna be as crazy as... God damn it. So yeah, Seba now has an on-demand Buster Brave Chain. Obviously, you still need to draw her cards in the first place, but the fact that she can turn any of her cards into Buster means it's always go time. And the MP damage tacked onto the skill really helps that MP Buster Brave Chain do some serious damage. Out of all the rank ups, this is probably one of the more impressive ones. Hopefully this will be the last time Saber breaks the meta. Do I really need to say anything here? You all knew what was coming. I know that every single one of you was saving for this banner. I bet none of you even knew there were new CEs. Which, by the way, are serviceable, but you wouldn't know, would you? Because you were only thinking about her. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bow down to the new queen of the meta, because Castoria is unbelievably broken. Her kit is essentially a combination of all the best aspects of the top supports. The ability to give 50% MP charge, arts buffing, NP gain increase, and a hard defense MP. And to make it worse, all of her versions are better than the original. Not only does Castoria have a spammable arts MP that gives attack and removes debuffs, her invuln is just better invuln. And you might be wondering, how do you make invincibility better? It's fucking invincibility. Well, how about making it ignore its only weakness? So now the only thing that can hurt her is buff removal, which thankfully she doesn't have any resistance to. I would tell you that Da Vinci Rider would also be on Raid Up, but I don't think you're even thinking about it. But yeah, that's about it. That's everything for the 5th anniversary. Hope you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and good luck on your pulls. As for me, I think I'll be financially stable for this anniversary, as long as there's no other gacha game that just so happens to have its anniversary around the same time period and is also dropping a meta-defining unit. But that doesn't exist, so I should be fine.